Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another impressive episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. We know it's been a long time since we've done a lot of topics, but we're back with another topics episode, and we're gonna get into it. But first and foremost, I have to do the intros. So with that being said, Howard Finkel, Justin Roberts, Lillian Garcia, maybe. Just channeling my inner ring announcer. Here we go. In the first corner, we have the Monarch of Mardi Gras, the Baroness of Bourbon Street. When she's not co-hosting Ringside Society, she goes on crazy misadventures such as shopping for DeLoreans, picking fights with random people while dressed up as one of the Road Warriors, and looking for the fabled Cobra Kai Dojo. Season 5 starts next month. We're ready. Louisiana's own Kathy Knight. And the second corner, in the second corner, we have coming back from a long hiatus. We definitely missed this man. We're glad to have him back. I felt like Robin Thicke. I was lost without you. But he's back right now. And the outro is definitely going to sound less awkward. No offense, Kathy, but it just doesn't feel the same, without him saying it. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society and Delaware's greatest American hero. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And in the third corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up Boston, flight catching, shot glass snatching, always positive, life is great, repping 592, living in the 718, no cap, straight facts. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. And our special guests tonight are two young men who have actually been on our show before. And, they're two great men that we actually had the pleasure of speaking with that, are doing big things for themselves now. They're actually hosting a unique podcast by the name of the Chaotic Outrage Podcast, where they don't just talk about wrestling, they also talk about other things like gaming, etc., comics, anime, a lot of cool stuff. So with that being said, everybody, welcome to the show. Two lifelong friends. They met in high school and they're still going strong today, like Jay and Silent Bob in Clerks and the rest of the Askew universe. Everybody, welcome to the show. Our guests for tonight, Nate Outrage and Chaotic Nick.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for having
Thank
us
you.
again. I
Thank you.
appreciate it so much. And I love the comparison with Jay and Silent Bob. By the way, I'm a huge Clerks fan. So
I don't think there's anybody who isn't, man. You just gotta like Jay and Silent Bob, man. They're just that cool, you
right.
know. But yeah, first off, gentlemen, I really appreciate. I know you two have busy lives and whatnot, but really and truly appreciate y'all taking time out of your busy schedules to be on here with us. So with that being said, for those of y'all that don't know, we started back with our topics episodes. Well, not started. We started doing topics episodes as of today. We used to do them before when we were on Blog Talk Radio, but we got so caught up with the allure of being on video and seeing ourselves and seeing our guests in person that we completely forgot about one of the other things that made us a podcast, which was talking about current topics and also giving our top 10 this, top 10 that of certain things in professional wrestling. So with that being said, here's how it goes from now on. From now on, there's no more just me, Kathy, and Rob. We're gonna try. If you were a 15 Minutes of Fandom guest on our show before, we will be knocking on your door to have you back on our show to join us in giving your opinion on your own top 10, your own top 5, maybe a certain topic that maybe a certain thing that happened in WWE or AEW or just in professional wrestling in general. So with that being said, our topic tonight that we're going to touch on is, as y'all have seen obviously in the headlines, is the our top 10 trios in professional wrestling. Now here's the thing: this is not rings. This is not all of Ringside Society. We're each going to be giving our top 10 trios that is 6-man stables that we feel, have done well for themselves, gain notoriety, etc., etc. So if you have your own top 10, or if you at least your top 5, then by all means feel free to leave it in our comment section. Feel free to leave it on Twitter, in our Facebook group, Twitch, wherever we are. Feel free to leave it there. And yeah, we definitely look forward to hearing from y'all. So with that being said, top 3. Now the reason why we're doing this is because this is in honor of AEW, the pretty much the second most popular professional wrestling company, having a trios tournament. And whether you like them or not, and I know there are some people that have their differing opinions, and that's cool, you have to admit this is something unique in a sense that they're doing for a big time mainstream company. WWE hasn't done this. Ring of Honor has done it, but at the same time, let's be honest, Ring of Honor is not really up there with like Impact or WWE. I mean, they're there, but they're not there, and you really got to be hardcore into wrestling to actually know about Ring of Honor and their ongoings. So we're gonna each be giving our top 10 trios, and this is not just modern day. It's gonna be like from like teams from like the 80s, 90s, 70s, maybe, if we know any trios from then, 2000s onwards. So with that being said, for those of y'all that know, I'm also a bit of a gentleman. So Kathy Knight, and I don't want her to whoop my butt after this podcast, because she gets very violent, and she takes out her issues on me. So Kathy Knight, by all means, the floor is yours. Go ahead and list your top 10.
All right, thanks for me. So this isn't like, ranked number 1, 2, 3. Maybe the top 2 are, but the rest just came from like my brain to paper and pad. And then there's like honorable mentions. Probably some of y'all are gonna have the same things as me, but here we go. So
Yeah,
probably.
I don't mean to cut you. So if anybody here has the same thing, by all means, it's cool. I mean, there's no, oh, you took my stable, you took my. If you happen to have the same thing as I, then hey, I guess great minds think alike, But by all means, feel free and go ahead and list them. Kathy, I apologize for that. Floor is yours once again.
So these are kind of tied. At number 1, I would say, I guess I'll start with the Fabulous Freebirds, because you always hear about the Freebird rule. Of course, the Freebirds were 3 of them, and they would rotate, and they would all be champions at some point. So that's the Freebird rule. I would put them up there with the New Day. So that's probably like my one and 2, or probably like one, like they're equal there, because you wouldn't have the Freebird rule without the Freebirds. And then, the New Day, of course, they've had so many titles together, and they're just awesome as a trio. So of course that's Xavier Woods, Big E, and Kofi Kingston. Then I just kind of like, as I was thinking, I was watching the AEW, watching all sorts of stuff. I just started writing them down. So the next one I have are the Best Friends, which is Orange Cassidy, Chuck Taylor, and Trent Bennett. They're on a tear. They're awesome. They're in the tournament that we're actually talking about, and the tie dye outfits they have now are just awesome. Like, they make me chuckle. I think they're really funny. The next one I have are the Bloodline, which is Roman Reigns and the Usos. They've been on a tear for the past 2 years. Of course, it seems like Roman needs the Bloodline, the Usos, to always cheat for him to win. But that's another topic for another day. This next one, I went back to AEW, the Death Triangle, which is Pac, Penta, and Rey Fenix. They're pretty awesome as a trio there. The next one, I went to Lucha Underground, and it's the Black Lotus Triad. If y'all remember watching Lucha Underground, which was, now we know who they are, because it's Kairi Sane, Io Shirai, and Mayu Iwatani. Probably butchered her name. I'm sorry.
You got it. You got it.
And then actually they had, after a while, like in season 4 of Lucha Underground, Chelsea Green actually joined them, and it was like the Black Widow, and that was some of like the most amazing matches she had doing that. So then the next one I have is the Shield, which was Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. I guess I got Roman in here twice. That's pretty cool, I guess. Speaking of cool, the next one I have is Too Cool, which was Scotty 2 Hotty, Rikishi, and Grandmaster Sexay. Of course, Scotty 2 Hotty did the worm. Rikishi would stick his butt in people's faces, and Grandmaster Sexay would, I guess he was just too cool,
He actually used to, and I know people were thinking somebody told me Grandmaster Sexay was just sexy. I think she was just a bit of a horn dog. John, I've never met a wrestler. I was like, girl, stay away from me. You're making it weird now. But Grandmaster Sexay actually used to do a thing where I could be wrong. He used to do a leg drop from the top rope, and he put on the glasses and whatnot.
Yep. So then I guess number 9, which it's not all ranked, but that's where I'm at. Team Angle, Charlie Haas, Shelton Benjamin, and Kurt Angle. And then the last one for number 10, I had The Brood, which awesome theme song, still playing it because Edge is around. That was Gangrel, Edge, and Christian. So then that was my top 10, but then I started, my mind just kept going, and I guess you could call them honorable mentions. We got the Riot Squad. We got Absolution, which they could have been a whole lot more had Paige not been injured. They were on a tear to be basically what I guess they're called Control now. It's like Bailey, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. Some people call them Control. I guess that's what Absolution was supposed to be, what Control is now. Just tearing through the whole women's division and stuff like that. And then, of course, after Absolution came Toxic Attraction, which they're not really too much of a trio. They're more like, Mandy's the NXT champion, and they, the other two, were tag team champions. Then I thought of Demolition, which was Axe, Smash, and Crush. And of course, when you think of Demolition, you have to think of the Road Warriors. So Road Warriors and Ultimate Warrior used to tag team. They were trios for a little bit. And also, speaking of the Road Warriors, Dusty Rhodes and the Road Warriors were trios for a little bit in WCW and NWA, that kind of thing. Then I thought about the Hardys and Lita, Team Extreme. And then after that, I had stopped, but then I got to thinking some more. The NWO, which was Hall, Nash, and Hulk Hogan at first. And then I thought about Decay and Impact, which was Abyss, Crazy Steve, and Rosemary. Which Decay is still around, but it's Black Taurus now with Rosemary and Crazy Steve. And the last one I thought about was House of Black, which Julia Hart's part of it now, but it used to be Brody King, he's not Buddy Murphy anymore, Buddy Matthews, and Malachi Black. So those were all the ones that I thought about. Probably some of y'all have the same thing. It is what it is, but there you go.
Man, I'm about to sue AEW, man. I heard a House of Black. I'm like, yo, brothers doing a trio. What's up? And I see ain't no brothers here. So I'm kind of, I'm just messing with y'all, man. Y'all know, Kathy, you know how to throw that in there. But yeah, that's a pretty impressive list, Kathy. You definitely know your stuff, man. You definitely got some that I actually have on my list too as well. But yeah, very Freebirds, yeah, definitely honor. Definitely have to have them in there, and the New Day as well. So with that being said, on to the next one. Rob Bass, man. Oh geez, great to have you back here, man.
It's good to be back.
I felt like Magoo without Timberland, Andrew Ridgely without George Michael, man. Anyways, man, go ahead, man. What's your list?
All right. Well, since we had Kathy and I had a couple of them the same. Six of them, precisely we were the same. So I'm going to be repeating stuff again. So, but I put mine down. They're not in any specific order. I just wrote them down and did whatever. Well, maybe except 1 and 2. All right, number 10, I got the OG NWO, Hall, Nash, and Hogan. I mean, when they came in, they almost, put Raw out of business. WWE out of business, and what they were doing over there. I remember being a kid watching it. Just, oh man, yeah. Every Monday, they were awesome. Number 9, I got the Jersey Triad, DDP, Bam Bam Bigelow, and who better than Canyon? Toward the end of WCW's run. Yeah, toward the end of that run, you know what I mean? Hey, Bam Bam's always been my guy, I always loved Bam Bam. Any group he was in, hey, yeah, there we go. Number 8, I got the Fabulous Freebirds. You know, Michael P.S. Hayes, Terry Gordy, Buddy Rogers, and Jammin' Jimmy Garvin. So, yeah, like Kathy said, you know, because them, you know, they're the reason, you know, 3-man tag teams or 3-person tag teams can, you know, anybody can defend the belt. You know, you got the Freebird rule. They're the reason, you know, bam, you know, they can do that. Number 7, Too Cool. You know, Rikishi, Grandmaster Sexy, and Scotty Too Hotty. Yeah, the first time I seen the big man, you know, put those glasses on and start breaking it down, you know, shaking them hips, and you know, twerking that booty. Yeah, but yeah, that was awesome. You know what I mean? Yeah, then you got Scotty doing the worm and all that stuff. Oh man, that was so great. You know what I mean? I just know if I ever met Rikishi and he was mad at me, I'd just be like, oh, hold on a second, and go put some sunglasses on and be like, to see if he, you know, he'd be all right. Number 6, I got the Triple Threat. That was Shane Douglas, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Chris Candido. Now they had members coming, you know, in and out, you know, leave and you know go somewhere else and all that. But that's the incarnation that you know that was my favorite. You know, with you know Shane, Bam Bam, and Chris Candido. Yeah, they tore it up. You know, to this day, you know, I'll still be like, throw up the Triple Threat. And Francine, I think she was the manager, I believe. Number 5, I got the Shield. You know, Roman, Seth, and Ambrose. I mean, they just came out. You know, they didn't even have an entrance. They just come out through the crowd. That was awesome. You know what I mean? Like, you know, yeah, they just you know, come out with the riot shields and but they did have a little protection on them. You know what I mean? Like they're out there in the SWAT. You know what I mean? Like you kick them in the stomach, kind of like D'Lo Brown back in the day, where he had the chest protector. You know what I mean? Someone did the frog splash. Yeah, you know, no, yeah, but you know, they still, you know, dominated and did the thing. Number 4, I got the Brood. You know, Gangrel, Edge, and Christian. You know, like Kathy said, awesome theme song, and they also used to give bloodbaths to people. I miss that. I miss a good bloodbath. You know, what I mean, just lights go out, and then you just wake up, and then, yeah, just a good bloodbath. Number 3, I got the Wyatt family. You got Bray Wyatt, Eric Rowan, and R.I.P. Luke Harper. They're they're awesome. They're probably one of my all-time favorites. You know, but you know, hopefully Bray and you know, come back to do something. You know, I can see him do something again, man. I kind of miss seeing him on TV. Number 2, I got the Bloodline. You know, Roman and the Usos, because like, yeah, they are dominating right now. They have got all the belts. I don't see them losing anytime soon. They're just, you know, just kicking ass and taking names. And number 1, I got the New Day. You know, Big E, Kofi, and Xavier. Like the 11, 12, 13-time tag team champs. You know, you know, Big E, Kofi, they're world champs. You know, Woods, King of the Ring, all that. You know, I mean, they're just so successful in everything they do. So I got to put them as number 1. You know, like just everything they do, and yeah, just they're awesome. So that was my top 10. So yeah, there's my top 10.
Awesome. That's a pretty good top 10, Rob. Definitely is. So next we have Mr. Outrage, Nate Outrage. Who's your top 10, sir?
Man, it's really hard to narrow down because there's actually more trios than I thought there was. I forgot about that. So and a lot of picks here reminded me of those trios, and I just kind of wanted to go kind of like deep cut because I did used to watch Ring of Honor, and I was there for the original what are they called, the original Kingdom. It was, well, technically it's a stable, but it was Adam Cole, Mike Bennett, and doggone it, it was Matt Taven in there, and then Maria Kanellis. And if I'm not mistaken, Matt Hardy created the group. But anyway, that trio, that's one of my favorites. And obviously Shane TP and his trio, I liked before. I think they broke up now, but when they were together, they're very cohesive and stuff from what I got to see. So they were probably the best trio I saw in Ring of Honor when I saw it last anyway. So I think they they're probably in my top 10 as well. I think WWE wise, I think New Day, of course. It's hard to order all these teams together, but I'd say the New Day for sure is at the top. For sure, like recently, I haven't seen a better trio than them because it's just what do they say? It's like they could separate and like they're still the New Day. They're never gonna be disattached from that. So they're like the top trio when it comes to that. What was that? 3? I think that was 3. And then the fourth, man, that's hard to say. And then Bloodline. I didn't even think the Bloodline was a trio at first because I was thinking the Usos are like lackeys to Roman, but it makes sense to me that they're a trio. Hey. Who else? I think the Beautiful People were really good when they had Madison Rain, Velvet Sky, and Angelina Love. They were very I think they were kind of the first woman trio to kind of get some attention. I think I may be wrong, but they're the first that kind of caught my attention. Like, these trios can actually be cool in the women's division too. It's not just like thrown together, like women thrown together that didn't know each other, And Absolution was good too because it was like Paige and then 2 different new superstars to kind of hype up, and they had some like good chemistry too. So it's not like they didn't like each other and they were just there for the job or whatever. So I agree with that as well. It's hard to say again to rank them, but I would say Freebirds for sure because the Freebird rule is based off of them. So I mean they're legends in that. And I didn't really get to watch WCW and AWA, so I didn't really get to watch those teams. I mean trios, but I think was the outside? No, not the Outsiders. The Brood for sure is up there. I think that's what 6. Yeah, the Brood's up there for sure. Just because when you think of trios, they're kind of one of the first things you think of. It's just those 3 dudes coming out and all that blood just coming down. It's like iconic. And then, of course, Team Extreme there as well. They're like the best trio to for non-fans to get into as well. Like I knew kids at school that really didn't watch wrestling that much, but they watched for Jeff and Lita and Matt kind of. But it's mostly Jeff and Lita. So I think that's, what was that, 6? I don't know. I lost count. 7? Shoot. So I got 2. I got 3 more. Okay. Shoot. Let me think.
Yeah, I think you're at 7.
Okay. Good. Man, I think Kurt and the Team Angle, they were iconic too for that time because I think they were like the only ones that were kind of the mat technicians there, but they were like all together, and it's just almost unstoppable from what I remember. I used to hate them so much because they messed with Eddie and all of them, but they're up there as well because I like mat wrestling anyway. I used to wrestle in high school, so kind of connects with me a little bit. And if we're going trio, I think the combination between Enzo, Cass, and Carmella, their trio, like their chemistry worked really well. If we're going like trio, like 3 people, them 3, I don't know what was like in the water at that time, but like them 3 had like a special thing. I don't know what it was, but it's like them all hyping each other up, and they, I mean that's everybody anyway, but they had like a special thing where Enzo and Cass brought Carmella out. Like her charisma start to come out whenever she was with them. So I think them two or three. I think Toxic Attraction. I think is feels like a trio for me because they don't feel like the two. I can't remember one of the names. I think Gigi Love. I can't remember at the moment, but basically the two their tag team champions that were anyway, and Mandy. I feel like they don't feel like they're trying to compete with each other. They're just like all kind of equals in that way. Just any one of them could be NXT champion, in my opinion. They have, well, yeah. Let me think. And then, shoot. Oh, I think the Death Triangle is really good with not Neville, I'm sorry, Pac. I don't really want to say Bastard Pac, but Pac with the Lucha Bros. They have like a really good thing as well where like I don't know if they like love each other, but it's just like we can kick ass together and we're like almost unstoppable. So we're going to go with that. But yeah, those are my picks.
Awesome. Those are pretty good picks as well.
Thank you.
Especially the Kingdom. Not a lot of people give the Kingdom their recognition, but they were pretty, awesome back in the day. Really wish. I really hope TK Orion gets, because last time I checked, TK Orion was stepping away because he had some concussion. But hopefully he gets to come back, and wouldn't mind seeing a reunion with, or better yet, wouldn't mind seeing a 4-man stable with Matt Taven, TK Orion, Vinny Marsegli, and who was the other guy? I forgot.
Bennett.
Mike Bennett, yeah. Definitely wouldn't mind seeing that happen.
Right.
But yeah,
absolutely.
So the chaotic Nick. Who are your top 10, man?
Oh man, so many are coming to mind now because I didn't get a chance to do my research that much. I was just basing off the top of the dome, and guys like LAX come to mind. PCB, the original 3 PCB. Who else? DX when it was just Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and China. Oh man, the Rascals. Those guys were good. From Impact. I didn't watch too much of them, but when I saw them in NXT a little bit, I was like blown away with their skills. Who else is there? I mean, I always got to go with the classics. Brood. Too Cool. I don't know if I can't remember the name, but there was 3 guys from WCW. It was Hurricane Helms, Shannon Moore, and some other dude. Yeah, 3 count.
Evan Courageous was the third one. That used to be one of my favorite stables. I'm not gonna.
They were always good. Just watching them, just kind of just doing their little thing. They were too cool before Too Cool.
Yeah.
What else? Man. A lot of things come from NXT and Ring of Honor. But again, I never watched Ring of Honor, so as a kid growing up, it was just WCW, WWE, a little bit of Impact. Can't go wrong with the Elite. Nobody said the Elite, so I'm gonna add them in there. Of course, you got the New Day, Freebirds, all that stuff, but the Elite is one of my all-time, like, that's either number 1 or like very minimal number 2, but it's high up there. The Best Friends are great. The Death Triangle, House of Black. I mean, who else was there? There was, man, trying to think of more trios that I remember watching. Wait, there was the X Factor. There we go. X
Oh,
Factor was one with X Pac and Prince Albert and Just Incredible. They were good. Man, I can't can't think of any more, but
it's all good, man.
yeah,
It's all
that's just
to
from
be
the top
honest.
of my head.
I know this was last minute when we
No,
contacted you to be on the show, so
no,
it's
it's
on.
okay.
I barely scraped a couple of them myself, and you still did good, man. You still did pretty good. Still got a
Yeah.
pretty impressive list.
Yeah, still thank you. Like the fact that we're here is crazy to me. So, so I appreciate that for sure.
Second one,
Thank
this
you.
is
Hey, like we
always a
said,
pleasure. So,
don't go too far. Sometimes you might have you back on the show later on. So hey,
Cool,
um,
cool.
but yeah, all y'all had impressive lists. Um, damn, y'all brought back some 3 count. Woo, those was my boys, man. Shannon, Shane, and Evan. I even saw. Actually, I saw Shannon more. I think it was either earlier this year or late last year, and I told him, Shannon, can we please have a 3 count reunion, please, just one more, you know?
that'd be
And
nice.
he just laughed at it. But yeah, um, yeah, definitely a lot of impressive guests. So a lot of impressive names on y'all's list. So I'm gonna go ahead and mine right now. Some I had to omit because some I had to take off because they were really a stable, and they just used to they had more than 3 members, but they would just have it was kind of complicated. Like I had the Von Erichs on here, but I'm like, yeah, but the Von Erichs were like kind of stable of 4 in a way, so couldn't really put them on here, but still a great wrestling family. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and give mine right now. So my first one, and this is not no particular order. My first one I picked was actually the Freebirds because, like I said, Michael P.S. Hayes, Buddy Roberts, Terry Gordy, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, they were the men. Honestly speaking, I would say if you had um if there was a professional wrestling dictionary and you had a picture or a couple of pictures of what a 6-man tag team is, they would definitely be one of those pictures. And they pretty much invented the Freebird rules. So, and they were very charismatic. Although they were heels, they had pretty much the whole arena jamming out to Bad Street USA and whatnot. Especially Michael P.S. Hayes would do his little moonwalk as well too. So those guys definitely had style. My second pick that I chose was the New Day. And let me tell you something about the New Day. I had my doubts about them because after I saw Crime Time, I was like, oh geez, here goes another, stable of of black men or tag team of black men shucking and jiving and dancing and whatnot. But then eventually, when I saw them, progress, I was like, okay, I was wrong. There's something to look at because they didn't come out as gangsters. They didn't come out as anything stereotypical. They came out as 3 guys that were being themselves, having fun, and being pretty comedic. And although they were comedic and promoting cereal and pancakes, and I'm surprised they haven't promoted eggs and bacon yet, they are actually the longest reigning tag team in all of WWE history. They actually broke Demolition's record. It looks like the Usos might break their record, but I'm okay with that because let's be honest. In my opinion, after the Usos lose those tag team titles, it's a wrap for them. We're not gonna see. I don't think we're gonna see a solo run for Jimmy or Jay. Although I'd like to, but that's another story for another time. And speaking of the Usos, they're actually my second one. They're actually my third team. The Bloodline. Had to mention them because although they are a 6-man, stable, a 3-man stable, and they're all successful. They've all had year-long title reigns. Roman Reigns is going on, I think, probably 2 or 3 years now as the champ as a champion for SmackDown, and now he's a dual champion. And the Usos have both sets of tag team titles. They were SmackDown tag team champions for a whole year, and now they have the Raw tag team titles, and they're just fending off challenger after challenger after challenger. Man, it's gonna be crazy whoever beats them for those titles. But I could say one thing: they're bringing out the best in each of their opponents, and those titles, whoever holds them next, you know, it's going to be a lot of prestige holding them, because three great men held them before, you know, whoever gets them afterwards. So the Bloodline is next, and also another one that I actually added was the Shield. The Shield was definitely, you know, something new. It was something fresh. You just saw these three guys come through and wreak havoc, take out their opponents. They took out Ryback. They took out Daniel Bryan, John Cena, everybody. And the crazy thing is that they actually, in their debut match, beat two already established WWE champions in a six-man tag match. It was them, and it was them, Dean Ambrose, who's now known as John Moxley, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns versus Ryback and Team Hell No, which is Daniel Bryan, now known as Bryan Danielson, and Kane, who is now the mayor of Tennessee. How did that happen? Oh, geez. I can only imagine him, that campaign. Vote for me or I'll burn you. But yes, they were actually able to win that match. And once again, just like the Bloodline, at one point, all three team members had titles as well. So my next pick, the next one on my list was actually, and you know, Nate, you and I taught you actually had them as well. The Kingdom. Mine was Vinny Marseglia, TK O'Ryan, and Matt Taven, three incredible wrestlers out of New England, repping New England hard, and they definitely, you know, showed out in their matches. And once again, I really truly hope TK O'Ryan, you know, comes back to wrestling, and we can have, you know, a reunion of sorts with him and the rest of the gang and so on. So the next six-man team that I picked, what number am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The next team that I picked was another team that I used to be scared of when I was, you know, a 7-year-old watching wrestling for the first time, and that was Demolition, Axe, Smash, and Crush. Whoa, let me tell you, these guys could dominate, and I felt sorry for their opponents, but eventually, you know, they would have to face another tough tag team in the Road Warriors, and I was actually excited to see that, because now you have two teams who are pretty much the same. They all have face paint, they all have spikes, they all have this crazy in-ring brawling style, and they're going toe to toe, and the exhibition of power was amazing at that time. And yeah, I definitely have to give them their flowers as well. R.I.P. Brian Adams, you know, and you know, they definitely were impressive, you know, in whatever match they had. The next one that I chose is one of the most popular six-man tags today in professional wrestling. Some people like them, some people hate them, but you gotta admit, they're hella fun in the ring, they're comedic, and whenever they get on the mic together, woo, it's like watching, for all my Harry Potter fans, the Weasley Twins and their friend Jordan, I forgot what his last name, you know, you know, pretty much, you know, act out. And I'm talking about Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, who are my pick to win this whole thing. I would not be upset about it. Whether you like them or not, these are three hardworking men in the ring. Yes, you may not like the fact that they're flying all over the place, but hey, it works for them. It sells merch, and it gets them clicks and views. So fly on. My next, this is what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my next one, number 9, are three men who started out as a parody. That's right. November to Remember. Rob, you know where I'm going with this. November to Remember, 1996. Three men came out and were on a couple of hijinks. One was the Blue Guy, one was Big Stevie Cool, and one was Hollywood. I'm talking about the Blue World Order, BWO and ECW. Yes, they were a parody, but at the same, but guess what? They made it work for them. They were selling shirts. Heck, I even bought a BWO shirt. I think I got it somewhere upstairs, but I even bought a BWO shirt because I liked them so much. And they even, and although they were a parody of the NWO, they even got a couple of spots, a couple of spots in WB. I actually remember it was 17 years ago. They actually got involved in a match between Blue Meanie. Oh, Stevie Richards and Nova got involved in a match between Blue Meanie and JBL, and then they had another match against the Mexicools. And we haven't seen them again since. I really wouldn't mind seeing them one more time in the ring. Hopefully, I get to see them live. And my last pick are three men who brought the excitement, who brought the hype to Impact Wrestling back when it was known as TNA. And coincidentally, three of them could rap. I'm talking about the Three Live Crew, BG James, Ron the Truth Killings, and K-Dog Conan. Those three men were nothing but a bunch of excitement, and they brought it. And the great thing I liked about them was that they were racially diverse. You had Ron the Truth Killings, who was black, Conan, who was Mexican. Well, not Mexican. Conan was Cuban, Hispanic. And then you had BG James, who was white and a good old Southern boy from down south. Those three guys were pretty good on the mic, and they brought the excitement. And I was always looking forward to seeing what they would do in the ring. And I mean, right now, although a reunion is pretty much impossible, but I would settle for a non-wrestling appearance, though. Just one where they do a little promo or something, or maybe they host an event, maybe. But yeah, those are my picks. And the only honorable mentions I had two of them. It was Toxic Attraction, who in my opinion are the first successful three-woman stable outside of, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, outside of Stardom, because all three of those members held titles. Gigi Dolan, and I forgot what her last name is, JC. I always forget her last name. And Mandy, the two of them, they had the tag team titles, and Mandy Rose actually had the NXT Women's title. So those three, I would definitely have to give them an honorable mention as well too. JC Jane, that's her name. I just found it. JC Jane. And of course, my other honorable mention was, of course, Kathy, you mentioned it, Freedom, which is the team of Mayu Iwatani, Kairi Hojo or Kairi Sane, whichever one you want to call her, and of course, Io Shirai or Io Sky, whichever one you want to call her as well too. Those are three incredible women that held the Artist of Stardom title championship. And just to let y'all know, we did put it on our Instagram page. The Artist of Stardom championship is the only six-woman tag team championship in professional wrestling. There is not another one in all of professional wrestling. If y'all know of another one, by all means, please correct me. I don't like to act like I know everything, but if y'all know of another six-woman tag team champion like that, please hit us up and let us know. And we'll even give that title some shine. But that's the only one that we know of. And Freedom has actually held that title. And not only that, too, they're one of the longest reigning teams to hold that title. And they're the only six-woman tag team. Well, no, one of the few six-woman tag teams. I shouldn't say the only, the few, because there's Oedo Tai, that actually got some exposure here in America when they had that, as you mentioned, Kathy, earlier, that match with them and the other member of Black Lotus. I think her name was Tiffany Fong, versus Pentagon Black in a gauntlet match, and that was a classic in my opinion. And on top of that, all three women have actually had single success as well too. Of course, Kairi Sane and Io Shirai were NXT Women's Champions, and Mayu Iwatani was actually the second Women of Honor I think second or third Women of Honor champion in Ring of Honor, and she has a mean Northern Lights suplex. Woo, man, I would not want her teaching me yoga. She would break me up in like 3 or 4 or 5. But yes, those are my honorable mentions as well for trios. For the trios topic as well. If y'all know any other trios that we did not mention or deserve to be mentioned or have not gotten their flowers, by all means, let us know. We're open to suggestions. And like I said, we don't know we don't know everything. I mean, we're still learning as well too. But with that being said, on to our next topic for the night. We told y'all we had 2 topics. We're going to talk about the NXT UK situation. NXT UK being pretty much donezo, and they sent multiple pink slips. I think 14, 15 in total, and now like a lot of the roster is gone. And there's also intentions of turning NXT UK or ending NXT UK and turning and launching NXT Europe. So I'm just gonna go around the room and just ask, Kathy, you first. What are your thoughts and opinions on that happening?
Well, to be honest, I forgot NXT UK was even on. I think it was on Thursdays on the network, which I would always forget. And I saw Tyler Bate show up on NXT. That was pretty cool. Always been a fan of Tyler Bate, Mustache Mountain, that kind of thing. I actually met both of Mustache Mountain back in 2018 at WrestleMania 34. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, Nick's doing the twirly twirl on the mustache. Yep, gotta love that. I mean, yeah, it's sad when people lose their jobs, but I would think some of those NXT UK people would come back to the NXT Europe. I mean, UK is part of Europe, as far as I know. So I think some of those people would get their jobs back. But I guess, broadening out to Europe, there's more countries involved, more people involved. I guess it would be a good thing. You get more opportunities for more people. And I guess that's all I got to say about that.
Okay, I can see it. Rob, how about you, man?
Yeah, it's not really. I guess NXT UK isn't really ending if they're just going NXT Europe. You know what I mean? Like the same people or whatever. So, but I do like them opening up. Broadening their horizons. So maybe we could have shows. Like in the middle. Not Middle East. Like over there in Europe. Somewhere over there. In Germany. All those places, and then maybe we can move to Asia. Maybe have something in India, something around there, the Philippines, and then maybe go to Africa. Have some talent all there, and then South America. Maybe get a little pipeline going. For all the talent. It's not in America and North America, and we're not familiar with. Because we always hear about everybody Canada here and then Mexico, what I mean? Pretty much everywhere else, it's like, yeah, whatever. Unless they come over here, what I mean? Like on some Crocodile Dundee stuff, like. But yeah, it'd be pretty cool, get hopefully they branch out or whatever. I'd like to see where this goes, I'd like to see Mustache Mountain Tyler Bate, wrestling again, Like Kathy said, I totally forgot it was a thing, so I was like, all right, yeah. So hopefully they can build it up. Triple H can build it up. Now that Vinnie Mac, he's I guess he's hanging out or whatever. So
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see where this goes. If he's going to go global or if Triple H is going to have it go just like to NXT Europe. I would say, man, at least go to Asia and definitely check out South America because South America has a lot of To me, South America's on the up and up, man. By the way, for those of you that haven't been following, we've actually had a Chilean wrestler on our show who's actually from Chile, and we were her first English podcast. Catalina Garcia. That's who was on our show. The only masked female wrestler that WB had, and we were her first English podcast. So make sure you check it out. Check it out on YouTube. And Yeah.
Yeah,
Rob
that
has a
was the
shirt there.
autograph shirt she gave me. Yeah, that was that's for the podcast though. She when I met her at the show or whatever, when I was backstage, she gave it to me. She signed
Yeah,
it because we were first English podcast.
yeah.
I
And
do
that's
want
why
to
I
say
tell.
something about you're about the 3-man stable when you I forget who it was that mentioned Big Cass, um Enzo and Carmella. Yeah, I met Big Cass and stuff backstage and all. I was doing ring announcing and all, and I was like, yeah, da 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 da. And we were talking. And it was like, how tall are you really? Yeah, he's not 7 feet. He's 6'9". So what? So they're fibbing on that one. It's like, oh man, yeah, I can't be like this 7 feet tall and you can't 6'9".
Yeah, yeah. That's the Rob, man. You're a lucky man to meet all those people. But yeah, before I go on, man, that's another reason why y'all should definitely follow us and check out our videos and so on, because we do stuff a lot of other podcasts don't do. And it's stuff like that Catalina Garcia interview. How many people, how many English podcasts do you know that actually do that? Have a guest that doesn't speak English, but you're able to put a voice on them so they could tell their story. If you could only name, if you can't name more than 5, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and keep in touch, keep following us because we got a lot of cool stuff coming on. There's more where that came from. So yeah, stay tuned. But chaotic Nate Outrage, who what do you think about the whole NXT UK and NXT Europe situation going on?
It's been crazy. Honestly, stories like that, I really try not to follow up because they're a little saddening. A lot of people just getting let go like that. But somebody on Twitter had mentioned the point that yeah, it's good that they got let go. Just like well, not good that they got let go, but good for their wrestling career because they can actually go do some work instead of not doing anything in the backstage for a while. Because um, also, I forgot it was kind of a thing as well. It was just on the network, and I didn't really have the time to go to the network and watch it every week. Uh, but I definitely didn't want it to be canceled like that. And then I believe Kathy mentioned NXT Europe. I don't know why they let them go if they're planning on a Europe thing, because like you said, like the UK is part of Europe, so why would they let go a lot of the UK folks? Didn't make sense. And I think they had German wrestlers, but they let them go too. So it's just like I don't know. I'm just gonna wait till I see it. I just hope all of them will be fine. I think last person I saw that got let go was Zaya Brookside. It was I believe Robbie Brookside is her dad basically is a trainer in NXT. So I thought she might stay, but she got let go. So I don't know. I feel like hopefully, like I said, I just hope they're doing okay. And because I've seen a lot of NXT UK folks come up on NXT recently, so I don't know if that's the reason why that they were trying to save some. I don't know, because Tyler Bate came out with the championship, and the NXT UK championship is on NXT now, and it's just like, what's going on? I don't know what they're trying to do with it, but I'm not excited, but I'm interested to see what they do with it and work with what they have basically, because they have a lot of talent and they've had American wrestlers wrestle on NXT UK a lot anyway. So it's just like, F it, go ahead, go ahead and do whatever. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Not very much, but it's a little something on it.
Nick, what you got?
Well, I'm probably the least to know about anything on NXT or anything like that because I really don't have any connections for watching it and stuff other than I don't know. But the point is instead of calling it like NXT Europe, why not just NXT International or something that, if you're going to go to all over the world, make it international where it's just highlighting the entire world versus just a specific part. Even though that specific part has many of the things, it's just international sounds better to me. I mean, yeah, getting let go sucks. But again, they can do the indies for a little bit until Triple H says, "Hey, let me renew your contract after we're done setting this up and get you back in." But yeah, I don't know too much about it, so I can't really speak too much other than just sucks to lose your job and move on and do better things, come back, whatever, and then NXT International sounds a whole lot better. So, yeah.
Awesome. So I think the whole thing is that we're probably going to see a lot of those, men and women back in NXT Europe. I mean, I think the thing is that maybe they were on a contract that was a bit too binding, and it was paying them. It may have paid them. I don't know what they get paid, but it may have paid them next to nothing to do nothing, where they could have made, twice, double, triple times more had they been on the indies. I don't know what the stipulations were of the contract, but I just hope that, I'm hoping that may have been a situation. And I know people were saying, oh, they should have moved to America. It's like, not everybody wants to leave their home country to go over to America. And then what if you get released? Then you're stranded in Orlando. You're stranded in
Florida,
Orlando.
man.
Yeah.
Florida, man.
Yeah. And with no connects. So, that may not be an option for them. Not everybody's lucky. But NXT Europe, it sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. I'm looking forward to seeing what countries they're going to be going after. I know Germany has a pretty good, somewhat good wrestling scene. I know there's places like Scotland, Ireland, definitely has a good scene as well too. So I'm definitely, looking forward to, where this is going as well, in terms of like the launching and the rebranding and so on. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, it sucks. It sucks to see people get let go and lose their jobs and so on. But the way Triple H has been, we've seen people return. We saw Hit Row return. We saw Karrion Kross return. We saw Dexter Lumis return and even send his Boothang, a little, telegram or whatever. So you never know. But I'm definitely, looking forward to seeing where this is going. Is it just going to be NXT Europe? Are they going to go to Japan? Japan is going to be a hard sell. I'll tell you that right now, because you got NJPW over there, and you got Noah, and those are two well-established promotions already. So, and then you got Stardom too as well. So that's going to be a bit of a stretch for them to actually try to open a market there. But I wouldn't mind seeing them do some stuff in India. India has some good wrestlers there too as well. I wouldn't mind seeing them do stuff in Australia, do NXT Australia. Australia has a lot of interesting wrestlers as well there as well too. And of course, Rob, as you mentioned, South America, there's Chile, which in my opinion, they have a couple of promotions there. I think Carolina also mentioned Peru, so yeah, they're on the up and up. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what's going on. I have a feeling that we're going to get a breath of fresh air. Yeah, it sucks to see Vince McMahon go, but I'm not going to touch that. It is what it is. But I have a feeling we're going to see a breath of fresh air with the new regime. We got Triple H, head of creative. We got Shawn Mike. Who would have thought the Click, I mean, unfortunately, Scott Hall passed away, but 2/4 of the remaining, or half of the remaining members of the clique are running things now. I wouldn't be surprised if I see Kevin Nash there now too. Then you might have X-Pac training people. You know, that's good. I'm all for it, man. You know, so I'm actually excited. I haven't been able to watch Raw a bit due to, you know, work, but I'm actually excited. I'm actually excited. You know, so going around, anybody got any other comments about topics? Anything else they want to discuss? Any at all?
I would say just for anybody else who maybe didn't watch Raw or recently, it's actually, I don't know if y'all can tell, but the feel of the show is a lot different. I feel like it's a little more wrestling in there than it was before. Before it was a little more like over the top and just Broadway-ish, and now it's just kind of it starts a little different here and there. It's not always a promo first. If I remember correctly, it started out with a brawl once. And I'm just like, on Raw, that usually doesn't happen. So, and the matches have been not better, but like just they spend more time on certain people that we haven't seen in a long time that are pretty much on the record for being Triple H guys. So it's just like Ciampa is getting good recently. Kevin Owens just came out last week and got his little shine. It's been good to see. It's a little refreshing. So I do think it's going to be getting good here recently. Now, about like Vince being gone, I've been trying to give it a couple of weeks to make sure it's true, because everybody can say that they're going away, but they always come back at some point. And especially knowing Vince, that's his baby. So it's just like, he's not going to be not hands-on at some point. I don't know if he's like just staying back for like a couple weeks to a month and then coming back like nobody knows, and he's just sitting there. That may be conspiratorial or whatever, but just a thought on that. But yeah, it's been getting good. Basically, it's been getting good.
Okay.
I think Vince is still hands-on. He's just, for public reasons, he's stepping back. That's what I think. But I mean, who knows really? I mean, yeah, the dude's old, but he's still kicking. He's gonna die by the WWE. He lives by the WWE. He's gonna die by the WWE. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's still in the back, but it's making it sound like he's not. So that way, all this incidents that have been occurring can be like, oh, okay, hush, hush, goodbye, sort of thing. So I'm pretty sure he's still in there. Yeah, I forgot the Mexicools. The Mexicools, man.
Yeah.
And then 3
right,
but... Oh man, a lot of memories.
Honestly, with the whole Vince thing, I just want Vince to either listen to his fans or just step back and you're getting money in your pocket, whether it's your idea or not. And I think I always said he comes off as being a control freak from what I've heard. Yes, he made millionaires, but at the same time, there comes a time where, and it's going to happen to all of us, you're going to be out of touch, and you just got to step back and let somebody. I mean, you could still have ownership, but just let somebody step back and run it. You're still gonna get money in your pockets. Yeah, you may not understand what the new school is doing, but guess what? New schools give you that new money. So step back. If I get old, if I get old and out of touch, guess what? I would step back and let Rob and Kathy run. I'm like, yeah, go ahead. I mean, I would shudder to think what Kathy would do. She'd probably have some wild person here talking a bunch of crazy topics. And Rob would probably have some crazy party on here. But hey, I mean, if it's beneficial to the podcast, I mean, why not? Let them go at it, And that's what Vince needs to learn. I mean, everything doesn't have to be your idea. It could not be your idea, but you're still gonna be getting money in your pockets. The profits are still gonna, be in your favor. So that's what he has. To me, that's what he has to do. I mean, I personally, I think he's gonna be okay. I think this is gonna blow over. He's beaten a lot of issues before. I think if we are, I think, and another thing is, I think he's actually an inspiration because to be 77 and still kicking and still moving like that, that is inspiration right there. I want to be that kind of 77-year-old. You know, I wouldn't mind being that kind of 77. But yeah, I think he's gonna be all right. But I see a breath of fresh air in WWE recently, and I'm looking forward to seeing more. Kathy and Rob, y'all got anything?
Nick had mentioned Team PCB, and I was like, man, I mentioned Absolution, but forgot them. Shucks. And then you could add Team Bad, you know, Sasha Banks, Naomi, and Tamina. And while we're at it, I had Team Bellas too. You know, the Bella
Cool.
Twins and Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
So totally forgot about them. And then about, you know, the NXT UK thing. The internet's pretty funny sometimes because I see a lot of people were like, "Oh, where will NXT go next?" And they're like, "NXT Crystal Lake." Like Jason Voorhees is gonna come out and kill people. Like you gotta love the internet sometimes. Like silly stuff like that cracked me up.
Yeah, Rob, how about you? You got anything on your end?
No, just with the Vince thing. I actually think I don't think he's behind the scenes working anything. I think he's still trying to talk to Triple H and Stephanie, like, y'all need to do this, da, da, da. And they're just like, yeah, Dad, whatever. Da, da. And I think eventually he's going to be like, look, they ain't listening to me. Da, da, da. You know what? F them. I'm starting my own wrestling thing. You know what I mean? I built the WWE up. You know, I'll go take them down. You know what I mean? That's how vindictive and all and stuff I think Vince is. And I think he would do something like that. Like, that's what I honestly think, you know, like, yeah, they booted him out like that, and then now they won't, you know, listen to him. And plus, I think commentary, since I've been starting back watching again, sounds better and all, you know, because like Michael Cole doesn't have Vince screaming in his ear, you know, like you're not supposed to call the title as a championship, and you can't say this, that, you know what I mean? They sound more fluid and, you know, like more happy, you know, so I'm like, man, you know, commentary's getting better, you know what I mean? Man, like Nate said, you know what I mean? The stories are getting better, you know, it's more, yeah, like, yeah, I kind of like it. Yeah, let's see where this goes. Let's hope they keep it up.
Yeah, that's I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what's to come. He may be doing some stuff behind the scenes, but it's probably not that much. In terms of that whole takeover thing, I think Vince would just sell the company. I mean, come on, a 77-year-old trying to do a takeover, I don't see it, but I think he would probably just sell it just to be petty or something, you know. I could see him doing that. So with that being said, I just gotta say, Nate, Nick, it's been an honor to have you guys on here. I really truly appreciate it. I know it was last minute. To be honest, I'm a bit of a spontaneous kind of person. Like I tend to do stuff like that. One girl I dated said like that.
Mm-hmm.
I took her to a restaurant, then we went to do karaoke. Didn't even plan it. So
count me in.
Right, no problem. I had no problem at all. I was surprised. It was like, what? So spontaneous is cool at all times. You know, just you live by the seat of your pants type of thing. You know, to kind of just experience life. You know, but yeah. Thank you so much again for having us. It's humbling, really. I can't speak for Nick, but for me, just the fact that anybody wants to hear my opinion on something it means a lot.
Oh, you're right. You're right. It is.
So we're all about fan interaction, man. I mean, you know, we're not only are we about, you know, giving fans the stories, you know, from different angles, like from wrestlers and managers, promoters, even gear makers, etc. We're also about fan interaction as well, because who's responsible for the success of WrestleMania? Who is responsible for the success of All Out or whatever AEW's marquee event is, or the success of Final Battle in the Ring of Honor or Slammiversary in Impact? It's the fans. You know, we're the ones that buy the merchandise. We're the ones that buy the pay-per-views. So we're the ones that, can make or break a promotion. So of course, we would be remiss if we didn't have fans, on our show as well. So thank you, gentlemen. Really appreciate it. So before we shut this down, where can fans find y'all on social media when they want to listen to your podcast, talk games, anime, all that good stuff?
Well, I guess I'll say we haven't really been consistent on the podcast here recently, but we are the Chaotic Outrage Podcast. I have an outrageously chaotic podcast. I have it on my shirt. I always
Outrageously chaotic.
yeah, I always say it wrong for some
That's
reason,
okay.
but yeah, that's our podcast. Pretty soon, I'll say we'll get back on it. Just life has been happening. Other than that, you can find me at Nate Outrage on Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you want. I just do play video games right now. I'm thinking about bringing wrestling to the channel, but I'm not too sure because I want to be consistent before I start putting that out. So, but yeah, that's just me. That's all.
And me, just look on Twitter at Chaotic1Nick. I believe that's all. I don't remember. I don't know my own handles because I don't get on social medias that much right now because work, but I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Outrageously Chaotic Podcast hosted by Chaotic Outrage, which is the two of us. So that's where we always get confused because we call each other the Chaotic Outrage, but it's the Outrageously Chaotic Podcast because it sounds better than Chaotic Outrage Podcast. So
I'll say actually he just wanted to put me first for the first time ever because like usually I always say him first because it's grammatically better. It's just him and I, kind of thing. So, but he's always
gotta put him first.
Yeah, this time he's like, you got to be first this time. You're always putting me first. It's your turn. I'm just like, okay.
You're the one, man. You're the one to shine. I'm just your backup.
Oh man, see now we're gushing too much right now. I'm sorry, but yeah, this is I wouldn't be here without him. So that's that's
Same.
my dude. That's my Shawn Michaels to my Triple H. Like it's literal.
Yeah, and we even got the looks.
Right, like like the fact that you said it was Jay and Silent Bob, I was like, that's the perfect thought because like I never thought about it till now. I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm like Jay and he's Silent Bob. So
true. Very quiet.
Yeah,
but it's always to have a team, man. I tell you, like I always say, me, Rob, and Kathy, we're like the Fugees. I'm like Pras Michelle. Rob is like Wyclef. Kathy is like Lauryn Hill. Pras Michelle wasn't that much of a rapper, but he was more of a behind the scenes kind of guy. That's who I am. I'm not really good. I'll tell people I'm not really good at interviews. Yes, I may do a little cool intro or whatnot and a cool outro, but I'm not. I don't think I'm really good at interviews. That's more Kathy and Rob. Kathy's the scholar when it comes to interviewing, and Rob is the tranquil dart. He has this crazy way of making people calm whenever he speaks to him. I don't know what it is, but he makes it happen, and I'm glad I have them on my team as well. But yeah, gentlemen, thank you once again. For those of y'all who are watching, make sure you follow these two gentlemen. They're really cool, and support their podcast, whether it's anime. If you're into anime or gaming or wrestling, definitely check them out as well. And with that being said, it's about time to shut this show down. My eyes are getting heavy, stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order, but before I partake in those activities, Kathy Knight, the Lauryn Hill to my, the Money Penny to my James Bond, why did I feel I'm getting that wrong? And the Pepper Potts to my Tony Stark. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out what's good in Louisiana in terms of restaurants and so on, and all things Paige and Becky Lynch?
So I'm on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, all at BLUE70517. And this Saturday, if you're in Pasadena, Texas, at Fitterman, I'll be there too, trying to meet Liv Morgan and Big E. So come say hi. And one more thing, Welcome back, Rob. The band's all back together for this episode, so yay. We missed you. And that's it.
Great to have you back, Rob. Great to have you back. Kathy, please don't go challenging. Please don't go challenging Liv for her titles. And please do not steal Big E's pancakes. Come on. You're killing me here with your hijinks.
No promises.
But Rob Bass, the Mel Gibson to my Danny Glover, the Tommy to my Ghost, and the Eminem to my Royster 5'9". Man, I haven't said that line in a while. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out when you're going to make your return to pro wrestling? Yes, you heard it right. He's a referee. And also, where can they find you when they want to purchase Rob Bass merchandise?
All right. Yeah, and Kathy, when you go on Saturday or whatever, tell Liv Morgan I said hi. No, tell her I said, how you doing? I'm just teasing. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Rob_Base82, and then Facebook, Rob Base. I'm not sure when I'll be back reffing and all, but 1CW, CCW, I know their next show is September 17th. And it looks like it's shaping up to be a good one or whatever, so definitely check it out.
Rob, I'm glad to have you back, but please don't encourage Kathy to tell Morgan how you doing. Y'all killing me now. Y'all gonna get us in trouble. We're not.
Oh, I forgot. Oh man, yeah. I was thinking of that dude from Friends.
I'm not Charlemagne the God. I'm not the king of controversy. So please. Oh boy. But if y'all want to find me on social media, not that I have anything cool to say these days, but who knows? Maybe you'll get lucky and hear me say something cool. You can find me on Twitter at @TheRemyBlue. You can also find me on Instagram at @TheRemyBlue as well. You can also find me on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue. And our podcast is also on social media. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019, Twitter and Instagram at Ringside Society. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group. We're also on Spotify. And we also have a Teespring store where we actually sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have t-shirts. We have tank tops for the summer, even though it's ending in a couple of weeks. We have hoodies for the fall, long sleeve shirts, and we even have coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. So check us out on Teespring, cop some merchandise. All proceeds go back into keeping our show afloat. And last but not least, we also have a YouTube channel where we have a lot of cool interviews, and there's going to be more topics episodes like this one. We also started our new series called Lariats and Legacies, where we interview relatives of those pro wrestlers that have passed on, and maybe some of those that are retired. I just saw a certain legend's daughter accept my friend request, so I might see if she's interested in being on our show as well too. But we started it with the daughter of Bad News Brown, Frances Coage. I call her the bad woman because that's Bad News Brown's daughter, and I don't want no smoke with her, not even on 420, even if I was into that kind of activity. But definitely check out that interview. It's really cool. And we have a lot of other cool interviews on there too as well. So make sure you go on YouTube. When you type in Ringside Society, you'll see that sweet OMG dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and subscribe to our videos, because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up. I'm not just saying that. And you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody that tuned in tonight live. We really and truly appreciate it. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan should watch and listen to, and we're going to keep on doing that. So we really and truly appreciate you for being here with us this nice Sunday night. To those of y'all that are going to listen later on, when you get a chance, thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we'd go away, well, like myself at the Golden Corral, Kathy Knight at I even forgot where you like to eat. What was that place that you get your geez. You haven't been on so long.
You always say
Cafe Du Monde.
Yeah.
Cafe Du Monde
special.
For the buy one get one free special on Vignes, and Rob Bass at a Megan Thee Stallion concert. We're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
Shoot, let the door hit him on the ass on the way out. So,
but with that being said, we here at Ringside Society are very well aware of everybody and their grandparents and the parents of a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. # we are not the same. and we don't say that just because it sounds cool. Rob Bass, Kathy Knight, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, one time for Chaotic Nick and Nate Outrage. Chaotic Outrage. What type of podcast are we?
All right, 3,
The best.
2, 1. We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast.
Yes, baby.
That's right.
Wrestling
We're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, ringside society. And you know something? I'm feeling good tonight. I'm feeling so good in the hood, even though I don't live in the hood, that I'm going to make a special announcement right now. As DJ Khalid would say, Major Key. This Tuesday, 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 5 o'clock p.m. British Standard Time. Y'all heard it correctly, British Standard Time. We're going across the pond to jolly old England. Our guest will be Aurora Rose. Now, I know what you're thinking. Who is Aurora Rose? Did y'all see that young lady in the China cosplay? That'll be our guest. So make sure you tune in because it's going to be a good time. And with that being said, you know, until then, we just want y'all to do 4 favors for us. Yes, just 4. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware. I missed y'all. I'm glad to be back. I missed y'all.